What happens when a veteran walks into a church with a Norinco rifle, 2,000 rounds of ammunition, and 2 Molotov cocktails? Sanford arrived at the local Mormon church armed with an AK-47, a Norinco STS rifle, a Tiger semi-automatic shotgun, a handgun, around 2,000 rounds of ammo, and 2 homemade firearms. He would often joke to his neighbors, telling them he almost hit a mother and her 4-year-old daughter with his truck. On social media, he became a vocal supporter of the Republican Party, posting a barrage of anti-religious and antisocial rhetoric. He branded Mormons as the Antichrist and declared they should be wiped out. It's worth noting that Sanford's ex-girlfriend was a Mormon. She had tried multiple times to get him to join her faith, but he refused every time. Gradually, the man who once served to protect his country devolved into an extremist, and in 2025, he planned this church attack. There were about 120 people inside the church at the time. Sanford drove his truck straight into the building and fired 60 shots into the crowd, leaving 2 dead and 5 injured. Officers Jason and Luke arrived shortly after, firing 10 shots in return and taking Sanford down on the spot. The resulting fire at the church claimed the lives of 2 more people and left 3 others injured. Among the 4 victims who lost their lives was 76-year-old Marine veteran John Bond. He had survived the Vietnam War only to be killed in a church in his own country. I mean, how much hate can one person hold to show up packing an entire armory? Beyond the massive cache of weapons and ammunition found at the scene, police also discovered 4 makeshift explosive devices made from electronic firework. These devices were used to ignite the barrels of gasoline. They also found several toy smoke canisters. Sanford used these during the attack to create a smokescreen, hiding his position and sowing mass panic. It was a tactic that spoke volumes about the combat training he still retained as a veteran. After the tragedy, Sanford's father, Tom Sr., claimed that his son was a good man who loved his family and his country. The entire family was in complete shock, and while he couldn't explain why his son did this, he wanted to apologize to all the victims. It was nothing short of a nightmare. On February 25, 2026, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer presented officers Jason and Luke with the Medal of Valor and the Life-Saving Medal. She thanked them for the incredible composure and courage they displayed, which prevented an even greater loss of life. A little perspective and a good night's sleep could have changed everything, right? Also recognized were the civilian heroes who were on the scene and assisted the officers. Although they didn't fire a weapon, their presence and deterrence effectively slowed Sanford down.
Shoot him!
In addition to the armed heroes, there were many medical professionals who showed incredible bravery. One such hero was Dr. Jared, a chief emergency medicine resident at Henry Ford Genesee Hospital. He was inside the church praying when Sanford rammed his truck into the building. Thinking it was just a car accident, Dr. Jared
来不及询问情况，3名持枪干员同时瞄准桑福德，要求对方放下武器。
Drop the gun now!
His 4-year-old daughter was hit as well, with a bullet striking her in the back. His wife was injured by shrapnel from an explosion. After the police arrived, Dr. Jared made sure his family was moved to safety, but he refused to go to the hospital with them. Instead, he dragged his own bullet-wounded leg and stayed behind to
持枪干员的情况。
Any more shooters?
Dr. Jared's colleagues
Were you inside, sir?
Participating in a major strike organized by
You
the
off-duty
Michigan Nurses
police?
Association.
No. Military.
Okay.
Honestly, I've been getting pretty irritable lately, mostly just because I haven't been sleeping well. The moment they heard the gunfire, the nurses abandoned the strike and rushed to the church, working alongside Dr. Jared.
Get him in custody, guys, and then get
Thankfully,
inside.
Dr.
Just
Jared
rehold
and his
this, put it
family
away, man, for
ultimately
now.
pulled through.
And then have a seat here. Did you fire?
The bullet grazed his daughter's spine, missing her vital organs, a miraculous survival. No matter how dark or tragic a disaster may be, there is always a flicker of humanity. At the end of this video, let's honor these civilian heroes. All right, that's it for today's video. Please don't forget to like, follow, and share. We'll see you in the next one. Sunday service was in session when Sanford rammed his pickup truck right through the church entrance and began a brutal massacre. Since most of the police were busy at the bogus crime scenes, the area around the church was virtually unguarded except for Jason. Officer Jason Carpentier, who happened to be nearby, was the only one who could provide a rapid response. Gabby, shots fired. Suspect is on site. We've arrived at the front of the church. The suspect is still inside the building.
这里我们可以看到桑福德掉落的
khaki pants, carrying a rifle. Upon receiving the update, Officer Jason grabbed his rifle and bolted toward the church at full speed.
接放满弹夹的 AK-47。
I can't see. We're not gonna be able to read. They said I got a victim in here.
Carnage would that unleash?
Yeah, we can't get in there.
陆续有更多的支援，看到了满地的武器和弹夹，还有生死不明的伤员们。
What do we got here?
Could be financial motives or vehicle involvement. Officer Jason arrived at the scene in just 3 minutes. He charged toward the church. We can clearly hear the intense sound of gunfire coming from inside. But Jason was certain he was the only one there yet. So, who was fighting the suspect? South end of the building. South end of the building. Soon, Officer Jason met his first backup, Luke, an agent from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, Robare. Even though he's a specialized officer focused on wildlife, Agent Luke was also armed. He'd rushed over the moment he heard the gunfire. Together, the two formed a makeshift tactical team and pushed inside. Shoot! Shoot! Get back! Get back! The two officers reached the scene and spotted the suspect. But wait.
No.
Anybody there? Another man with a weapon standing his ground against Sanford.
We got about 6 people.
Nightmare come to life. Hey everyone, I'm DePeng. Today's case takes us to Grand Blanc.
Anybody in there?
All 3 armed men leveled their weapons at Sanford, ordering him to drop his. Drop the weapon! Drop the gun right now! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Drop the gun! Sanford refused to comply and aimed at the officers. For safety reasons, the officers opened fire. Sanford collapsed to the ground. Only then did the officers have a second to check on the other armed man. Are there any other shooters inside the building? I don't know. Were you in there, sir? Where's my gun? Where is my gun? You're off the clock, Pete. Please step away. Okay. It turned out this guy was a military veteran who had been praying in the field. He'd run to his car to grab his own weapon. Let's get him detained, guys. Then go inside. Good. Only 3 holes. Put it away, buddy, for his sake. Now, sit down here.
Guys, if you can hear my voice, come out here!
Did you fire? All right. Sit here. Lean against that tree.
Hold on.
Officers thanked the Good Samaritan for his help and had him disarm to avoid any friendly fire incidents as more police arrived. It was about 10:30 in the morning on September 28th, 2025, when the Grand Blanc Police Department received an emergency call. Backup soon flooded the scene and confirmed that Sanford was dead on the spot.
I'm with you. Please! Sheriff's office! Please!
这里有
A
形体
heavily
是
armed veteran turned mass shooter.
What if somebody's in there when they lock the door?
Officers Jason and Luke in less than 5 minutes. But guys, if you're looking at the progress bar, you know it's not over yet. Don't forget, Sanford brought 2 buckets of firebombs. A timer triggered the incendiary devices, and flames began to spread rapidly through the church. There was no time to worry about a potential second shooter. The officers had to find a way to save the civilians inside. immediately.
在差点昏过去多名警员后，大家成
Move. Gun. What do you see in there? Over here, We can see it. The Norinco SKS rifle Sanford dropped. The magazine is completely empty. He must have ditched it to kill faster, switching straight to an AK-47 with a full mag. I can't see where the smoke is coming from. They're saying there's a victim over here, but the smoke is too thick. Yeah, we can't get in there. More backup is arriving one after another. I'm seeing weapons and magazines all over the ground. And victims, we don't know if they're alive or dead. How many of us
此时，警员们已经无法再做任何。
Jacob Sanford. Is it 133? Okay. Is there anyone who isn't responding? Right? Officers.
短短的几
Get
十
the
分钟，
civilians
警员
who
们
were shot
经
in
历
the
了
plaza out of there first. Start field triage, and more officers are starting to evacuate the people inside the church. Back up, sir. Back up. Please back up. What's going on?
I'm getting to it. Don't have time to be sad right now. Be sad later. Don't worry, I already had like.
Come on, you guys did great. Good job. Come on. Great job. Move, move. Usually, there are more people in the church. Run, 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 run. A large number of children were among the first group evacuated. Officers learned from the survivors that there were still a lot of civilians inside who had been shot. Even though the church was already billowing with thick smoke, time was running out. The officers didn't even have time to wait for the fire department to arrive. They charged straight in without masks. Can you see anything? Nothing. Is there anyone inside? Is there anyone in here? Come on! We found 6 people at the front window. Keep checking the windows. They're breaking the glass right now. He told the police he had planted multiple bombs at the town's school and supermarket, told them to sit back and watch the show, and then hung up. Is there anyone inside? Officers patrolling the perimeter are constantly watching the situation inside through the windows. Looking at the body cam footage, there's blood all over the ground outside the church. It's like a living hell. The officers couldn't even imagine how many people this attack would kill. At this moment, a mother ignores the officers trying to stop her and tries to rush into the church. Her child seems to still be inside. If you can hear me, come to the window. I'll let you out. No, you can't go. You can't see anything. You'll die. The fire is out of control, gradually swallowing the entire church. After figuring out the approximate locations, the officers organized an assault team and charged back into the church. Yes, that's right, I have the tea ready. Did you hear my guys coming out? Wait, can you open that inner door? Please, open it! Immediately following the call, the entire Grand Blanc police force mobilized, locking down the school and supermarket while requesting urgent backup from the FBI and the ATF. The smoke inside the church is suffocating. Every step the officers take. They are coughing so hard they're almost passing out. They have to keep running back outside just to catch their breath, coughing violently. As soon as he recovers a little, he charges back in. Just a quick tip here, everyone. Don't hold your breath. You can breathe. What if there's someone inside, but they locked the door? Police! Hurry up! It's like a giant furnace in here. Yeah, you're doing great right there. Yeah, it's not working. After several officers nearly passed out, everyone successfully rescued 3 more civilians from a crowded room, yet even so, there were still many people missing inside the church. Some of them were even friends of the officers. But unfortunately, by now, the fire was already too intense for anyone to enter, even for fully equipped firefighters. Everyone is worried about their loved ones, so there might be 9 people. But what the police didn't know was that they had just fallen for Sanford's classic bait and switch. Oh yes, those are the people who came out through the window. They made it out of the window. At this point, the officers couldn't do anything else. They could only stand from afar, watching the inferno reduce the entire church to ashes. Search the back. Think about your people. In just a few dozen minutes, the officers had experienced what was likely the most terrifying mission of their careers. There were wounded people everywhere, their fates unknown. One paramedic who saved 5 victims had his clothes soaked through. It wasn't sweat sticking to his heart, it was blood. I got caught up in this. There's no time to be sad right now. You can be sad later, don't worry. 5 people have already stopped me because I'm covered in blood. So, regardless of their career, this was the worst nightmare come true. 2.5 hours after the incident, the firefighters put out the blaze. The entire church was reduced to ruins. The FBI took over the scene and began to investigate. According to the subsequent report, the suspect, Sanford, joined the United States Marine Corps in 2004. While every officer in town was rushing toward the decoys, after being promoted to sergeant in 2007, Sanford was deployed to Iraq to execute Operation Iraqi Freedom. Serving in a combat logistics regiment, Sanford received an honorable discharge in 2008. He was awarded the Marine Corps Achievement Medal. He also received the Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, and the Iraq Campaign Medal. In addition to his service in the global war on terrorism, Sanford was also suffering from PTSD. After leaving the service, Sanford became a truck driver for Coca-Cola, enjoying a stable income. He married his wife in 2016, but just as he was feeling hopeful about the future, terrible news arrived. His newborn son was diagnosed with congenital hyperinsulinism. Countless surgeries and long-term treatments drained almost all of Sanford's savings. The family even turned to crowdfunding platforms for help. The pressure of life caused Sanford's PTSD to spiral. His wife couldn't handle his erratic behavior anymore. They chose to divorce, and Sanford began living alone, his mental state becoming increasingly unstable.